Hello there. Tonight we are going to do number 7 on how to use your strip backgrounds. Here's a strip background, and we're going to come up with another idea. This will be our 7th idea. Alrighty, in this series I should say. I have more than 7 ideas on there, but in this series, this will be number 7. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. First, let's see. Let's cut it down to about 3.5 to 5. 3.5 by 5. That'll work. And then we're going to cut this at, so 3.5 by 5. Let's see. So 3.5. So that would be 1.5. 1 3/4 would be half of that. Alrighty. And then half of 5 is 2.5. So we're going to do that. And then cut this one out 2.5. It's so fun to play with these and to see how many different ideas we can come up with. There. So now we should be able to just line these up on here. Ta-da! So let's go ahead and glue those on. Actually, I should probably move these over and put this on the card front first. All right, let's do that. There, turn that over and give it a nice little back rub. All right, we may as well open it up and put these strips on the inside. I think I'll do this long blue one because that'll go from one side to the other, or just about. All right, and then we'll do the shorter one of the background one. There. All right. That's a good idea. Ta-da! All right. That'll make it match up nice. And then I can wipe that on there. All right. So let's go ahead and get some glue on here and put this on down in the corner. There. This one should go in that corner, and likewise. Alrighty, there. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And do this one way down in this corner. And then this one. Up in that corner, and then last but not least, up in this corner. All right, and that leaves a nice little spot in the middle. Yes, I think I want to do a, I don't know, let's see what color borders we've got. Let's see what kind of border we can put down the center. So I'm thinking something pretty would be nice. Like, ooh, like that. Ooh, that's nice. That's pretty. I would just need to trim it just a wee little bit, but that's pretty nifty looking. Especially if I trimmed it up to there and then off. That's cool. I like that. Or do we have gold? Would probably match better, but I'm going to do that because that matches nicely. I like that. Why not? Okay, let's do a little thin sliver of this. Take a little thin sliver because it's just a wee bit too wide. But if we take off a real thin sliver, that should help. There. let's check that out. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so then we can lay this down. We can mark this right there. Whoops. I just took a shower, so my hair's dripping a little bit. Alrighty, let's trim this off. Nice. And get some glue on here. Perfect. And I did it so it should line up with this light blue, not the dark blue, Barb. All right, there. Mucho better, mucho better. Push that in there. That's better, okay. That's pretty. I like that. Nice. So I want that in there. Oh, that's kind of funky. Does it look better with that? With or without? I think it looks better with. All right, let's put that in there. Alrighty dighty, we can do this. Perfect. All right. So what do you think of that? Isn't that pretty? That's a neat way to use background. So now what can we add to it? We can add a sentiment or an embellishment or something right here. Let's see, you know what? I should have one of these. That should work. There you go. That works right there. And a simple old thinking of you. Voila, that's perfect. All right, let's do that. So I think I'm gonna glue this straight down on here, and then we'll 3D the whole thing up. That's a good idea. All righty. Purple scissors. Thinking of you. That's pretty. I'm gonna make sure it's opening right. Okay. That's pretty. I like that. Nice. Not too shabby. That is a great card for a man. What do you think of that? Nice little layout. I think that's perfect idea for a manly card. So I hope you like this idea and you'll give it a try. Pull out those strip backgrounds and see how many ideas you can come up with to use them. So, and until we meet again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.